you for joining me today. Let's go ahead and get started. Come to an easy seat. Oh, turn that volume down just a little. It's a little bit loud. Okay, we're gonna come to an easy seat. We're just gonna breathe for a minute. Take this time to focus on your breath. Bring yourself to your mat. Set your intentions for your practice. And we're going to do a side stretch. So stay seated, lift your arms to the sky, right hand to the ground, left hand reaches up and just stretch over to the right side. Feel the stretch in your left. And come back. We're going to switch sides. Left hand to the ground, right hand up, and feel a stretch in your left side. Just breathe into your stretch. And come back. We're going to turn on our mats. We're going to go into a seated forward fold. So legs out in front of us, arms up, and just fold forward. You can place your hands on your thighs, on your shins, or on your feet, wherever you're comfortable. Just breathe into the stretch. Lengthen your back, lengthen the crown of your head toward your feet. Okay, on your inhale, come up. We're going to pull the right leg in as like a seated tree, with the right foot on the inside of your left thigh. And we're going to keep our left leg straight, and we're going to fold over your left leg. Try to keep your back straight. On your next inhale, sit up. Right leg long, left leg pulled into the inside of your thigh. We're going to stretch toward the right foot. Okay, come back up, legs back in front of you. We're gonna move into a butterfly. So pull your pull your feet in close to you. Keep your sits bones rooted into the floor. Sit up straight. If this feels good, stay right here. If you need to, place blocks under your knees so that there's not too much of a stretch. And if it's in your practice to lean forward, then go ahead and do that. Just lean forward. Sometimes this can be an intense stretch. If you put blocks under your knees, that will definitely help you. onto our back. We're actually going to do just about the same thing, only lying down. So from your back into the floor, go ahead and bring your knees, your knees wide, your feet together for a reclined butterfly. Hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. Again, blocks are great to alleviate some of the strain on your hips. All right, go ahead and close your knees. We're going to go into a reclined figure four. So lift your right leg, cross it over the left knee. Pull your left leg in toward you. If you'd like to use a strap around your leg, then do that to bring it in as close as you can, or you can just leave your leg on the floor like this and feel the stretch. All right, go ahead and release. We're going to switch sides. Take your left leg, cross it over your right knee, and pull your right leg in. Make sure to keep your back as flat on the floor as you can. And go ahead and release. Feet flat to the floor. We're going to do a pelvic tilt now. We're going to just lay on your back and pull your navel in, pull your pelvis up, and then back down. Again, in, and then back down. Inhale, draw your navel in, keep your back flat on the floor, and down. One more in. Okay, next we're going to go into a bridge pose. So lying on your back, keep your feet hip width apart, and just lift with your hips, sucking your navel into your spine, and just hold for a moment. Try not to come up too high. Try not to be too low if you can. Just be right in the middle. You'll feel your glutes engaging. And release. Lower back down. We're going to come to a seated position. And we're going to roll over to tabletop. We're going to do a few cat-cows. Stretch out the spine a little bit. So, hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips, and inhale, drop your belly, look forward, push your chest forward. Exhale, round your spine, tuck your navel in. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Make sure you're not squinching your ears up, or your shoulders to your ears. Exhale, cat. Now we're going to sink back into child's pose. Oh, I'm sorry, you gotta come to neutral spine first, don't you? Okay, we'll come back to your neutral spine. And then we're going to go back into child's pose. So knees as wide apart as you want. You can have them in together and lay down over your knees, arms outstretched. You'll get a very nice stretch in your upper back. Or you can spread your knees out and sink your torso down in between. And all of these poses are going to ground us down. We're going to try and connect more with ourselves. Focus your breath and your thoughts on your practice. Okay, we're going to come back up into a tabletop position. Inhale, exhale, downward facing dog. Go ahead and pedal out your feet. Get a sway if you'd like. Keep your arms engaged, tailbone lifted high, navel pulled in. All right, we're going to go up to three-legged dog. Right leg lifts on your inhale. On your exhale, pull it through your hands. We're going to come into a low lunge. Just feel the ground pushing with your feet. And exhale, step forward to a forward fold. And a half lift on your inhale. Hands in your shins, even in your quads or on the floor. And then exhale, release. Okay, inhale, we're going to come up to Urdhva. Arms in the air. Exhale, we're going to sink back to a chair pose. Drop your hips like you're sitting. Arms back by your ears. Don't leave the weight in the toes. Leave your weight in the back of your feet. On your exhale, come down, swing your arms back, lower yourself for half chair. On your inhale, up to chair. And then we're going to stand for Urdhva, and then back to forward fold. Halfway lift, fold. Back up for Urdhva, arms down, Tadasana. Go ahead and spread your feet wide. Toes pointed slightly out, heels pointed slightly in. We're going to sink down into a Malasana squat. So what you're going to do is just sink back. Again, if you need a block to put underneath you, please do that. That will help aid in any stability. Elbows on the inside of your knees, hands to heart center. Inhale, rise to Urdhva. Bring your feet back together. We're going to take hold of our right wrist. We're going to, take hold of your left wrist. And tilt over. We're going to be doing a crescent. Let me turn so that you can see. We're going to be doing a crescent. Grab hold of your left wrist. And just tilt over. Not too far. Just tilt. You feel a stretch. And come back up. I'm gonna do a forward fold. Excuse me, yes, we're back to our Vinyasa. Wow, I have a problem today. All right, and come back into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Come back all the way up, Vinyasa. We're gonna transition into a warrior two. So right foot stays in front, left foot comes back behind you, pointed at 45 degrees. And just swing your arms open to a T. Keep your right knee over your ankle. Okay, we're going to straighten the right leg, and we're going to come into, twist your feet around so that we are in a wide-legged fold. Arms up, and if you like to, just go ahead and bend forward a little bit. If you can press your palms into the mat, if not, grab some blocks, bring the floor to you. Rise back up. We're going to stay in the wide-legged fold. We're going to bring it in just a little bit. You're going to go into a goddess pose. So tilt your feet out a little bit and just bend your knees. Almost like a wide-legged squat. So you're in goddess pose. Okay, rise back up. Turn your feet back toward the top of your mat, and we are going to go back into a warrior two. And go back to a low lunge. Okay, step back, downward facing dog. We're going to roll forward to plank, and we're going to come to our bellies. And from here, we're going to do a bow pose. So reach back with your hands, grab the outsides of your feet, keeping your legs parallel to each other, and just kick into your hands. If this is a stretch, then stay here. If you'd rather go a little farther, just kick into your hands. Come up just a little bit. And back down. And just rest for just a second. Okay. We're going to come back up to tabletop. And then we're going to push back to downward facing dog. Hips in the air. And just breathe here for a moment. We're going to focus on the left side now. Okay, left leg up, inhale, three-legged dog. Low lunge on your exhale, left foot in between your palms. And then we're going to come forward to a forward fold. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, release. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, we're going to come into a chair pose. Remember, keep your knees over your ankles. Exhale, half chair, arms back. Inhale, arms up. And forward fold. Okay, go ahead and come on up into Urdhva Hastasana, arms over your head. We're going to widen our stance for another Malasana squat. Hands at heart center. Go ahead and squat down. Okay, reach up, stand up for Urdhva Hastasana. I'm going to turn again to face the camera so that you can see. We're going to go into the standing crescent. Grab your left hand. Grab your left hand. And just tilt to the left. Remember to keep your navel sucked in. All right, come back up to Urdhva Hastasana. From here, we're going to move into a warrior two. So, left foot forward, right foot to the back of your mat, 45 degrees. Left knee bent, and just twist your arms open to a T. Okay, and for this one, I'm going to turn back around because I faced the wrong direction. We're going to do another forward fold. So go ahead and come into your wide-legged forward fold, and we're going to just bend forward. Hands on your blocks or on the floor. Crown of the head toward the floor. Just feel the ground underneath your hands and your feet. Okay, now come on up. We're going to go back into our goddess. So feet out just a little bit. And just bend your knees down into a goddess squat. If this is uncomfortable for you, feel free to stay here. You stand in Tadasana, whatever is comfortable for you, where you are feeling the ground under your feet. Focus on that. Focus on your breath. Okay, stand back up. We're going to hands up, turn to face the top of your mat. I'm going to go this way because we're going to go back into your left-sided warrior two. All right, swing your arms down for a low lunge. Keep your back foot straight, or excuse me, your back leg straight. Then we're going to come back to a downward facing dog for just a moment. Pedal out the feet. Roll forward to plank, and then onto our bellies. Here we're going to do another bow pose, so reach back and just kick into your hands, lifting your chest off the ground. Okay, release. Come back up into tabletop. And back to child's pose. Okay. Now come out of child's pose into a tabletop position. We're actually going to work our warm-up backwards as our cool down. So back to downward facing dog. Stretch it out. Come on down into your tabletop position again. Hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips, and we're going to do cat-cow. So inhale, push your belly down, chest out. Exhale, round for cat.
And push the floor away with your hands.
Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. One more. Inhale, cow. I have a problem with this one. Exhale, cat. Come back to tabletop. And we're going to sit back on our heels. We're going to roll back onto our side and onto our back because we're going to come into the bridge. So, knees, feet hip width apart. Arms long, just lift. Keep your shoulders on the floor. Engage your glutes and your abs. And come back down. We're going to do the pelvic tilt again. So keep your back on the floor, feet on the floor, and just press your lower back into the floor, tilting your pelvis up toward the sky, and then down. Tilt it up, and back down. Tilt. Try to keep your lower back on the floor. I'm wanting to do a bridge here. And down, and one more. Lower back on the floor, just tilt your pelvis toward the sky. And then back down, good job. We're gonna move into a figure four from here. So, let's go. Right leg up and over. Grab your left leg and pull it in towards you. See if you can feel a difference from earlier in the practice. See if you're a little more loose maybe. Release, feet to the floor, switching sides, left foot up and over the right. And pull your right leg in toward you, feeling the stretch in your left leg. Back down. Going into a bound angle, or excuse me, a reclined butterfly. So staying on your back, soles of your feet together, knees open to either side. Again, use blocks to place under your knees. Sometimes I know that my hip will hurt during these and I have to use blocks. Knees together. You're going to roll onto our side and come to sitting. We're going to do the one-legged forward fold. So your right leg straight in front of you, left leg pulled in like a seated tree. Arms up and fold. You can have a slight bend in your knee if it makes you more comfortable. Okay, come back up. Both feet to the mat, and we're going to switch sides. Left leg long, right leg in. Arms up and fold. In front of us. We're going to do one last fold. Arms up. We're going to fold forward over both legs. Keep a small bend in your knee and just relax. Lay back down. Knees to the side. And we're going to just bring our knees to our chest. Like a little ball, just roll around just a little bit. Work out any of the strain, or hopefully there's not too much strain. In, and legs long for Savasana. Legs long, arms out beside you. Just find stillness. Take this time to bring your breathing back and reflect on your practice. And when you're ready, roll over onto your right side, into a seated position. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste.